All right. So as I just shared in my last video, I wanted to follow that last video up with what to expect for wash day. Because I just think it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of videos on YouTube on sister locks and the process for wash day that you can certainly find that will probably be pretty similar to what I'm going to share today. But I do get that question every so often, like how do you wash and maintain your hair in terms of keeping it clean, things like that. So one of the things I wanted to start with is the frequency in which I wash my hair. So I wash my hair about every probably 10 to 14 days, somewhere in there. So about every 2 weeks is generally when I wash my hair. I find that I have to get mentally prepared for a wash day. It's nothing like when I was a loose natural, baby, because that was a process, right? Like that would take me like a half day on a Saturday to get my hair together. But it's still a little bit of a process. I mean, it's not terrible and I really shouldn't complain. But it is what it is. So there's a few things that, that's one thing to keep in mind, that I wash my hair really twice a month. Usually about somewhere near halfway between my retie and then a few days before my retie. The most important thing is I really listen to my hair and what my hair needs. And when it tells me it needs to be cleaned, I try to make sure I'm taking the time to wash it. Now, it's important to keep in mind with sister locks, there's really not product in your hair. So you don't necessarily have a lot of product buildup in your hair, but just like anything else, I mean, there's particles and stuff in the air that's on your scalp. We sweat. I do spray some water with a little bit of oil in my hair, 5th generation's hair growth oil. I think I'm saying that correctly. I do use that and put that on my hair to help maintain its, just kind of keep it healthy. But I use very little of that. Like I don't use that very often, and it's very little in the bottle. So, excuse me. So there's not a lot of product that's in your hair anyway. So it's not like you have this product buildup. But what tends to happen with my hair when I know it's time, when it's like, wash me, it gets kind of itchy around the scalp. It gets kind of itchy around the perimeter, and I think that's honestly because I have because of my makeup and my wash routine for my skin and all of that. Sometimes I'll probably get stuff just right around these edges, and then it just kind of irritates my scalp. So that's when I know I need to wash. The other thing that I notice is my hair starts to feel a little bit more dry. It's generally pretty soft, but it starts to feel not hard, but it gets a little bit more hard, like it needs to be washed. So that's one thing. And then it looks dull to me. Like it just looks like, okay, it's time to do something. It's time to wash it and clean it. And then, just that window of time is a good, guesstimator. So 10 to 14 days, somewhere in there, I generally am washing my hair. So for me, I've been locked for 15 months, so a little bit over a year. My hair I had heat damage in the front of my hair when I started my sister locks, mostly in the front. There's a large section in the front, and that was from sew-ins, leave-outs from sew-ins. I just plain and simple was just pressing the life out of my hair, flat ironing the life out of my hair, and just wasn't taking very good care of it. So I ended up with heat damage in the front, and it was so much heat damage that if I cut it off before I got sister locks, I would have like this much hair. So I decided to work with it. And so you can see that part of my hair, like right here, it's almost straight, and it's a little bit more scraggly, like down here on the ends. It just looks a little lifeless there. And so I'm living with it, and Raquela will trim it a little bit. Every so often I'll ask her to cut more of that dead end out as my hair grows out more and more. But because of that, I believe I know that this has taken, that I'm still having to braid and band my hair when I wash it because of these parts of my hair that's more damaged. Raquella instructed me that, she wanted to see these parts of my hair mature a little bit more before I stopped braiding and banding. So I'm still braiding and banding. So what is braiding and banding? It's essentially putting my hair in about 10 to 15 braids and then taking the ends of those braids and banding the ends with a little rubber band like this. And then washing my hair while it's braided like that. And the reason for that is because it helps to prevent unraveling. It helps to prevent bunching, which is where your locks kind of gather towards the end. It helps to prevent slippage, where your lock may slip out or unravel. And slippage can happen at the base. I think it can also happen like just within the actual lock, so in different parts of the lock. So essentially, braiding and banding helps to maintain the integrity of the lock during the process in which your hair is still maturing and trying to lock. At some point, I won't have to braid and band when I wash my hair, but right now, that's where your girl is at. So for wash day, what do I have for wash day? Wanted to share that. I shared in my last video the customer starter kit that comes with the Sister Locks. When you first get Sister Locks, it comes with this starter kit. And in the starter kit, there is starter shampoo. Starter shampoo. And I'm actually still using the starter shampoo. I really like the starter shampoo. So this is the shampoo that I use. I don't use anything. I don't use Dove. I ain't using Suave. Your girl ain't using Carol's Daughters. I'm using the Sister Locks starter shampoo. This is what is helping my hair to lock the way that it should and keeping the integrity of my locks as well. So I do use that. I also, as I shared, because I have to braid and band, I use rubber bands. So I have to make sure I have those. And then I also have a number of these little clippies that I got from Target. I like these because they have a lot of space, but I use these to clip my hair out of the way in order to braid my hair. And then I also use these when I'm taking my braids down, which I'll get to in just a moment. And then the other thing that I use is this hair scalp massage shampoo brush. I bought this off of Amazon. This is like a really soft silicone material. I use this to really get my scalp clean, and it's nice because it's kind of like fingers and it helps to get in there, especially with my hair being braided. And then I also use, this is just me being extra because I didn't want to mess my hair up and I didn't want lint in my locks. I use this, it's called a wrapperoo, which is a specially designed like towel for natural hair. It actually is a towel and a like a cape kind of. You can put it around, while my hair is drying. Sometimes I'll put it around me so it's dripping on there. But this is really nice because it has this little thing in here that is velcroed. So my hair is not really long enough to use this effectively, but as my hair grows, I can wrap this around my head and then wrap it up like a towel and stick the wrapped end through here. So it's very, very useful. So I use that. And then once I'm done washing my hair, I sit down and I have to get all of those rubber bands out. So I actually use this tool that I found on Amazon. If you look closely, there's a little razor in there. And what this does is it helps me to very quickly and easily and carefully snap my rubber bands without cutting my hair and without tugging and getting my hair tangled in the rubber bands, because I'm always a little nervous about doing that. So that's what I use for wash day. I am going to wash my hair today. So I thought I would show you sort of what braiding and banding is and what I do. Normally, I actually start in the back with my locks, so I start back here. But in the interest of this video, I'll show you what how I would begin to braid and band my hair from the front. So as I said, I use these pink clips to kind of keep the hair out of the way. And then what I do is I section my hair. I usually section my hair off. One second. So I usually section my hair off. And I usually braid about 10 to 15 braids all over my head. So as you can see, now this is a look right here. But what I do, when you braid and band your hair, you have to leave enough enough space at the root to be able to get your fingers in, or like I shared before, this massager in to really get this scalp clean. So you don't braid it so tight that you can't do that. So what I normally do is I kind of start low like this, and then I begin to braid my hair. My ear itching. I braid my hair down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, like this. And I usually do this while I'm watching something on TV with my kids and my husband. And so I braid it down, and I don't usually go all the way to the end because, one, as I shared with you, some of my ends are straight, and I don't want that to get tangled. And two, I just don't want my hair to get tangled at the end, and I've had some bad experiences with that. So you braid it down where it's just a little bit of hair left, and then I kind of bend that in, and then I take a rubber band and I wrap the rubber band around the ends until it's secure. Now, it don't have to be so tight, you know, like you're squeezing life out of it. It just needs to be secure enough so that it doesn't unravel while you're washing your hair. So as you can see, and then I just did this almost on autopilot. I put my fingers in here after I braided to make sure there's enough room. Because in order to get my scalp clean, I got to be able to get my fingers in it, or as I shared, you know, this tool. So that's what I do all over. And you can see some of the flakes in here saying, please clean me. That's what my hair is saying right now. And so I would do that again for like this section. Same thing. The other thing that I do sometimes, because I can actually see the lint coming off my hair. One thing with locks, it's a lint magnet. Your locks are a lint magnet. They just attract lint. And lint is everywhere. You don't have to be rolling around in the floor to pick up lint. Like, it's just everywhere. It's in the air. It's on your clothes. It's everywhere. And so sometimes what I'll do is I'll just start by shaking my hair because I don't want to get lint lodged into my locks. And then that's in my hair permanently, or it's hard to get out. Like, that's not the look I'm going for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that lint look. So I do try and do that from time to time. And it's just kind of, so you see how I braided and banded this one. So it's just kind of a process that I do from time to time, not just when I'm going to wash my hair, but essentially what I would do before is I'll just shake my hair like this and I don't know if y'all can see that on the camera, but I can see the lint, just little particles of lint coming out. Some of that's flakes, okay? Because I need to wash my hair. But some of it's lint. But so I will do that as well. So I braid and band my hair all over like this, and then I begin the washing process. And as I said, I use the Sisterlocks starter shampoo. I do put a little bit of water in this to dilute it a little bit. I can't give you exact measurements. I'll just be feeling it. I mean, I don't know if that's right, wrong, or indifferent, but I just put a little water in there. And so after I wash my hair, what I would then do is use this towel that I shared with you guys, a special towel, to dry my hair. So, and I usually leave this on probably for like 20, maybe 30 minutes. So I find something to do and I leave it on for a while. I will tell you that as my locks have gotten longer, and I mean, just think they're not super long, but as they've gotten longer and as they've thickened up, it takes longer for my hair to dry. So that's just part of the process. It takes longer for my hair to dry. So I can only imagine as they get more length and as they really thicken up and swell up the way that they should, it's going to take even longer for them to dry. So what I do is I wait till my hair is about 75% dry. And once it's dry, I begin the process to take the bands out. Take the rubber bands out. So what I do is I use my little tool, and again, you can get this off of Amazon. It's super cheap, and it comes with like 5 or 6 of these in a package. Matter of fact, I gave one to my mom because my mom also has Sisterlocks. But what I do is I grab the rubber band like that, pull it away from my hair, and then I just take this and I break it. And then I take the band off and I begin to very carefully unbraid my hair. And I'm usually hanging out, watching TV, doing this as well, listening to music, whatever it is. And then I begin to unbraid my hair. And as I unbraid my hair, and keep in mind, my hair is all in braids everywhere, but as I start to unbraid it, I do use these again to section them. So I began to unbraid my hair, and this is the process that I really dread. With Sisterlocks, with locks, because your hair, you're getting new growth at the root. This is my theory. Because you're getting new growth at the root, and because your hair, you've got curly textured hair, and the ends, the majority of your hair is locked. So new growth's not locked, the rest is, and your hair is textured. Your locks have a tendency to want to marry. That means that they want to come together, like at the root, and you don't want that's not something you want. You don't want your locks, you don't want to have a two-headed lock that at the root it's been married together, and your loctician will fix that anyway, hopefully, if you have a good loctician, before they retie your hair. But what I've been instructed to do is to very gently separate my locks. So I literally go one by one, and I take my locks and I gently pull them apart so that the hair in between this lock and the neighboring lock is not stuck together all around here. So I would just gently pull it down. And so I do that every time I take a braid down, and I just very slowly and gently take my time. And sometimes you can feel the hair, trying to marry in there, and you just kind of have to pull it apart very gently. It's not hard on your hair or anything. You do have to be gentle doing it. I don't know if y'all can see these flakes, but I need to wash my hair, which I'm doing today. But so anyway, so that's what I do. And I do that one by one like this. And then I would do that for every braid that I have. And then once I've done that, I'm done. I let my hair, I finished letting it air dry all the way. and I'm done. I usually have a few crinkles in my hair, like a braid out, because it was braided for the braiding and banding process. But that's what I do, and that's it. I think I covered everything. So that's what the washing process looks like. And let me know if you have any questions, or put your comments in on this post if you have questions or thoughts or comments, or if you didn't know that, whatever. I won't have to braid and band forever. Once my locks mature, I can just wash my hair. Just get it wet and wash my hair. But until then, in order to keep the integrity of my locks, and because I don't want my locks to be fat on the end, like some people decide that they're just going to stop braiding and banding and their locks don't look uniform anymore. And so that's not the look that I'm going for. I want my locks to look very uniform as they can look. I mean, they're not going to look 110% uniform, but as uniform as they can look, that's the look that I'm going for. So I'm trying to be obedient to my loctician, to her instructions, and patient to continue braiding and banding my hair. So until next time, thanks for listening. Have a good day.